Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with theblogtoread.com. Today I'm going to review the Ulysse Nardin Freak Diavolo. This is a fantastic watch and probably one of my favorites from the brand. About 10 years ago, Ulysse Nardin released a watch called the Freak, and this is the Freak. And last year they released the Freak Diavolo that has a couple of improvements. The main one is the addition of a tourbillon. So you can see there the tourbillon, and this one just has a normal escapement. Another improvement which is actually interesting is if you look at the regular Freak, there's a pallet. Right there, there's a piece of metal which is actually through the crystal, and that's holding part of this whole assembly together. On the Diavolo, you don't have that. You have just a normal flat crystal. It doesn't have a piece sticking out of it, which is really, really great. Now, the reason this is called the Freak is because it's so different for the brand, and you might be thinking, how do I read this watch? So this big structure right here, there's actually the minute hand, and then underneath there, you see there's that arrow, that's the hour hand, and basically to adjust it, you flip up this little switch right there, and then use the crown. I'm sorry, that bezel. The bezel actually is the crown, and see here how that sort of changes the time. Now, how do you wind the watch? Well, to wind the watch, you actually use the back, and you spin this around to wind it, which is, you know, a little bit uncommon. And you can see right there through the window there, that is actually the spring. That is the main spring barrel, and you can see how wound it is based upon how tight it is, and that's sort of like a power reserve indicator. So this is a completely crownless watch. There's no crown on there, and you use basically the bezel and the back of the watch to set the time and adjust the and to wind it. Now, there's a couple of special features in the movement here aside from it being a special movement, and it uses a silicium hairspring as well as escapement. So I'm going to see if I can zoom in there a little bit. So if you look there, you'll see something that's a little bit blue. You see the escapement moving right there with the tourbillon? That's not metal, that's done silicium, that blue colored thing. And that's actually going to have a lot of special properties over metal. Lubricant free, is completely non-susceptible to things like, you know, pressure changes and temperature changes and things like that. It's a wonderful element, and Ulysse Nardin is spending a lot more time working with silicium and making more and more parts. And they're coming out with a new movement soon called the Caliber 118, which is also going to have these types of elements from the Diavolo in a more mainstream, less expensive watch. So the tourbillon is a flying tourbillon, so that's the seconds indicator, and so the minutes, hours, and seconds. And it is actually quite readable once you get used to it. It's a fantastic piece. Again, this is a Ulysse Nardin Freak Diavolo. This particular version is actually in steel because it's a prototype. You cannot buy the steel version. If you get one of these, consider yourself very, very lucky because there's only 10. But this watch is normally, I believe, in white gold, and I think there might be a platinum one as well. Thanks, and you can see more on theblogtoread.com. If you found this video useful, please like it and thumbs it up. Thanks.